Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Let me start off by thanking CREC for allowing us to use the facilities once again to celebrate our scholars, their families, our donors, and so many volunteers who make this evening special. And indeed, to our donors and our volunteers, your generosity makes this evening possible. It helps the scholarship recipients realize their dreams and carry the hopes of our community. And it's so good to see so many new faces and also some returning faces of our donors who have supported us year after year. I'm pleased to see Dr. Robert Patterson, who was our keynote speaker from last year, join us. Let me begin just by sharing a few details about this year's awards. In 2018, the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving awarded $1.6 million in scholarships to nearly 700 students attending 2- and 4-year colleges and graduate programs. The generosity of our donors established 8 new scholarship funds at the foundation, which allowed us to increase our commitment to education for scholars in our region. For those who are able, I would like to invite our donors, volunteers, to please stand as we recognize and show appreciation for your philanthropy. Please stand. Let us recognize you. Thank you. To our parents, families, mentors, and coaches of our scholars, and of course, our scholars themselves. Tonight, we celebrate you. Congratulations on your many achievements, of which tonight is just one. I'm sure that I need not encourage you to always remember the names and the faces of the generous people who believe and who invested in you, who gave of their time and of their resources for you, and who look forward to watching you become everything that you may have dreamed. For 74 years, the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving has worked with donors from across the region to support our exceptionally robust scholarship program. But we know more can and must be done. We know that our region has disparities that are affected by race, income, and zip code, and that those persistent disparities are widening. We know that the outcome disparities impact opportunity for all of our children to access college, vocational supports, and skills needed to launch their careers. These disparities and the resulting opportunity gaps are why the scholarship and wraparound supports are starting as early as middle school and why they are more important than ever. Just a few weeks ago, I was listening to NPR, and they were talking about a report that was recently issued by Georgetown University. And in a nutshell, the report concluded that in this country today, it is better to be born rich than it is to be born smart when it comes to opportunities to live a successful, high quality of life and be able to be in a position to give back to your community. Now just think about that for a second. You know, if you casually think, well, yeah, we'd all like to be born rich. That would be wonderful. But the notion that we have arrived at a point in this country that it is documented that it is better to be born rich than smart when it comes to opportunities sends a chilling message to our students. I'm sure that throughout the course of their educational lives, we have encouraged and admonished and cajoled these students to work hard, to hit the books, to make the smart decisions, to invest in yourself and invest in your education. And that is absolutely the right message that we should have been sending and that we should continue to send. But we have to know that things and the dynamics have evolved such that individuals who are born into wealth, no matter how hard that some of our students work, they still find themselves with an uphill struggle. And that disparity is widened or worsened when you talk about our students of color. At the Hartford Foundation, we seek to understand how our own scholarship program can be improved. And we are conducting research to that end to gain a more clear picture around the needs of our students and their families, to better understand how we can harness the resources of the foundation, and how we can promote best-in-class scholarship programs for the students of Greater Hartford. We will be focusing our energies and our efforts on developing 3 areas to support this goal. We're going to increase the impact of our scholarship program. We have a strong foundation and long history of investing in scholarships, but we also have an opportunity to link scholarships with other investments in post-secondary attainment, to do a refresh on best practices and assess the relationship of the HFPG scholarships to the work of our peers. Secondly, donors want to see impact. They are motivated by that impact. And the research that we're conducting will enable us to explain to donors why our scholarship programs are set to have a transformative impact in our region. And thirdly, we want to better inform our own post-secondary planning. And the research will help us to identify where there may be opportunities to shrink the gaps in resources for students to achieve post-secondary success. We will review area and national college and career awareness and scholarship programs and best practices that analyze student-level outcomes of the Foundation's scholarship recipients. In conclusion, as the recipients of scholarships through the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving, our students now join a wonderful alumni of HFPG scholars. And rest assured, we'll be reaching out to you to help inform us about how we can continue to grow and improve the scholarship program and the wraparound services to add to the success of our students and their families in the coming years.